Thank you for listening. This course was created to help you succeed in your educational journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional podcasts, books, newsletters, and cool merchandise await. Let's get started. This first episode serves as your orientation to the entire Prepcast series. The purpose here is not only to introduce the structure and scope of the course, but also to help you become comfortable with how to learn in this particular format. The Prepcast is designed as a comprehensive journey into the field of artificial intelligence security, moving carefully across the entire life cycle of AI systems, from their data inputs to their models and beyond, into deployment and governance. Because this is audio only, the pacing and explanations are crafted in a slower, more deliberate style. You will be guided without relying on visuals, so the text has been expanded into narration that emphasizes clarity, continuity, and accessibility. This episode sets expectations. Whether you are a student, a professional, or a career changer, this series will provide you with structured, vendor-neutral insights into a rapidly evolving domain. The audience for this series is broad, and deliberately so. Beginners will find the early explanations careful and approachable, free from unexplained jargon. Intermediate learners, perhaps already working in technology or security roles, will find that each episode builds upon their existing base, adding structure to what they may already know informally. Advanced professionals, including those in leadership positions, will discover fresh insights and framing that connect technical risks with governance decisions. This inclusivity is intentional. Artificial intelligence security is not reserved for niche experts, but rather touches every practitioner involved in building, deploying, or managing modern systems. By designing the Prepcast in layers, the material will remain useful across skill levels. Each listener will be able to engage with it at the depth that matches their current position while also stretching toward the next level. Because the entire series is audio only, the format has been carefully structured to support retention without requiring visual aids. Each episode unfolds in a predictable rhythm, offering a balance between technical explanation and reflective commentary. This rhythm matters because the flow allows you to know what to expect and settle into a consistent learning pattern. The scope covers the full life cycle of AI security, from the data that trains models, through the models themselves, into the tools and prompts that interact with them, and ultimately the governance that surrounds their deployment. In other words, the course does not isolate technology from policy, but integrates them into one continuous framework. The intention is to give you a working map of the field, one that feels coherent even as it spans many different layers. The key feature of the learning approach is the emphasis on passive listening and repetition. Unlike a visual classroom, where diagrams can be revisited at a glance, audio learning requires a different rhythm. Concepts are layered gradually across episodes, so that what you heard weeks ago will reappear in a new context, reinforcing your memory. Some episodes may feel technical, others more focused on governance, but together they form an interwoven pattern. The absence of visuals is not a weakness but a deliberate design. Without relying on diagrams, you will learn to understand AI security concepts in their own terms, expressed as clear ideas you can articulate. This ability is particularly powerful in workplace conversations and exam settings, where verbal clarity often matters more than visual aids. Navigating without visuals requires a particular style of narration. Transitions are described explicitly, so you always know when one theme is closing and another is beginning. When topics are complex, the pacing slows down to give you more space to process. This prevents overload and mirrors the way you might approach a dense textbook, lingering on key passages rather than skimming. Visual metaphors are avoided because they cannot be seen. Instead, the explanations rely on descriptive language that builds the concept directly. This approach may feel slower at first, but it will reward you with deeper understanding. It is like listening to an audiobook that explains both what is happening and why it matters, allowing you to picture the logic in your mind without the distraction of slides or charts. The outcomes you can expect are practical and professional. You will finish the series with an improved understanding of AI security that prepares you for exam scenarios, but the benefits reach further than that. You will develop the confidence to engage in discussions about AI risks in your workplace, to interpret security controls in new projects, and to place technical ideas in their broader context of organizational governance. Exams, certifications, and career goals are part of the picture, but so too is the everyday ability to explain what AI security means and why it matters. That confidence, rooted in layered knowledge and reinforced by repetition, is the lasting outcome this Prepcast seeks to deliver. Your mindset, as you approach this series, will shape how much you benefit from it. AI security is not a field where every concept can be mastered at first pass. Some ideas are highly technical, while others are rooted in governance and oversight practices. Patience is essential. You may not fully absorb every nuance the first time you hear it, and that is expected. Openness also matters, because this Prepcast blends two traditionally separate perspectives: the technical detail of how systems function and the governance structures that ensure they operate responsibly. By listening for both, even if one feels outside your comfort zone, you will gradually build a bridge between the two. Progress will feel steady, not rushed, and the repetition of key points will help resilience develop naturally. Trust the process. Knowledge will accumulate over time, and patterns will begin to emerge across episodes. Another element of success in this format is pacing. It is tempting to move quickly, treating the Prepcast as background noise. While casual listening is valuable, the deeper benefits come from intentional engagement. The recommended rhythm is to listen to 1 or 2 episodes at a time, pausing between them to allow reflection. Replaying sections that felt dense or particularly important is not a weakness but a strategy. Linking concepts across episodes also deepens understanding. For instance, an idea introduced in an early discussion on system architecture may reappear later in a conversation about attack techniques. If you pause to connect those threads, retention improves significantly. Rest is also critical. The brain consolidates learning during breaks, so spacing out your listening will actually help more than marathon sessions. These pacing strategies are necessary because the material is intentionally rich. Each episode is written as though you are reading a textbook aloud, meaning that the density is higher than in a casual podcast. Instead of storytelling or interviews, you will hear structured explanatory prose. This gives you more to work with, but it also demands a little more from you as a learner. Think of it as weight training for your understanding. Steady, deliberate lifts rather than quick motions. Just as in training, recovery matters. If you find your attention drifting, pause the episode and return later. Over time, you will find that your endurance for complex ideas grows stronger, enabling you to handle more advanced material. The benefits extend beyond exams or academic goals. AI security knowledge is increasingly useful in practical, workplace contexts. Imagine participating in a project review where an AI system is being integrated into an existing workflow. With the grounding from this Prepcast, you will be able to ask sharper questions. What protections exist against data poisoning? How will prompts be safeguarded against injection attacks? How is model output monitored for misuse? These are not abstract exam queries, but real concerns faced by organizations today. In leadership communication, too, the ability to frame AI risks in clear, structured language becomes a powerful asset. You can help translate complex vulnerabilities into terms that executives or clients understand, shaping broader strategic planning. For those pursuing certifications, the Prepcast will reinforce familiar domains. If you have studied for Security Plus or the Certified Information Systems Security Professional exam, you will notice parallels: confidentiality, integrity, availability, and risk management all appear here, though applied to AI contexts. Similarly, cloud security certifications often emphasize the importance of data governance and system monitoring principles that directly overlap with the AI security lifecycle. Even governance certifications, such as those focused on compliance or risk, are relevant. By weaving these connections into the series, you will find that your preparation for one domain supports your growth in others. Cross-disciplinary learning is a hallmark of this course, and it mirrors the way real-world professionals encounter security issues, rarely in isolation, often at the crossroads of multiple fields. As you think about how to study, consider building a routine that supports gradual learning. One effective method is to schedule episodes into your week, treating them as you would classes or lectures. Another is to blend listening with light note-taking, not to transcribe everything, but to capture key terms and themes. Reinforcement comes when you teach others. Explaining a concept from the Prepcast to a colleague, a classmate, or even to yourself out loud forces you to restructure it in your own words, which greatly strengthens retention. Over time, the episodes will grow in complexity, and your routine should evolve with them starting light, then increasing the challenge as your base strengthens. Just as in physical training, progressive overload applies here too. Small, steady increments lead to durable growth. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other Prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. For many listeners, the most immediate use of this Prepcast will be in workplace discussions. AI projects are becoming common across industries, and security professionals are often called to weigh in, even when they have little direct experience with these systems. By listening carefully and layering knowledge across episodes, you will gain the ability to contribute meaningfully in project reviews, steering conversations toward risks and mitigations that others may overlook. Beyond technical reviews, you will also be able to frame AI issues in strategic discussions, such as planning new services or updating organizational policies. Security leadership is no longer only about firewalls and passwords. It increasingly requires fluency in the unique challenges posed by intelligent systems. This Prepcast is designed to give you that fluency, so that when AI topics arise, you can engage with confidence and credibility. Integration with traditional certifications is another important value. You will often hear echoes of familiar domains, such as access control, cryptography, or incident response, but reframed through the lens of AI. For instance, a topic like model theft can be understood as a form of intellectual property risk, which resonates with exam content on asset protection. Similarly, governance frameworks discussed here will feel parallel to those in information security management certifications. These connections make your study more efficient. By treating this series as a complementary track, you prepare not only for AI-specific challenges, but also strengthen your broader exam readiness. Think of it as cross-training. Learning in one area builds endurance in another, reinforcing your ability to think critically across domains. Study routines should be personalized, but a few guiding principles will help. Many listeners find that pairing audio with movement, such as walking or commuting, makes the material feel lighter, while returning later for a second listen cements the details. Writing down reflections after an episode can also help, especially if you note both the technical concept and the governance angle. Teaching what you learned, even informally, remains one of the strongest ways to retain information. Over time, you will notice that early concepts reappear in later discussions. By pausing to recognize these links, you create a network of understanding that grows stronger with each connection. The point is not to memorize isolated facts, but to build an integrated picture of AI security. Career changers often wonder whether they need prior technical experience to engage with AI security. The answer is no. This Prepcast has been crafted with clear on-ramps for those entering the field from business, governance, or even unrelated professional backgrounds. The language avoids assuming prior familiarity while gradually introducing terms and concepts in context. This approach creates a foundation where listeners without deep technical roots can still find footing. Over time, the mix of examples and layered repetition will build a bridge into the field. For those hoping to transition into cybersecurity more broadly, the Prepcast provides a natural entry point. It balances technical exposure with governance insight, bridging the gap between management skills and technical detail. Experienced professionals, on the other hand, will benefit from the fresh perspective this series offers. Many security leaders are already well-versed in cloud, network, or compliance domains, but AI introduces a new attack surface that requires renewed attention. By exploring these topics, you gain not just updated technical vocabulary, but also new ways of framing strategic decisions. For instance, governance leaders can better assess the trade-offs between AI adoption and risk exposure, while technical specialists can align their efforts with broader organizational priorities. The result is a more balanced, nuanced professional outlook. This dual view is essential as AI continues to weave itself into core business operations, making AI security a board-level concern rather than a specialized niche. Preparing for advanced topics requires laying a strong foundation first. Early episodes provide that base, helping you understand the life cycle, the data flows, and the fundamental security concerns. Later episodes will escalate into discussions of adversarial attacks, governance frameworks, and emerging defenses. As you progress, you will begin to see how each piece connects, how technical vulnerabilities influence policy, how governance choices shape deployment risks, and how defense strategies evolve across contexts. By the time the series reaches advanced material, you will already be familiar with the core building blocks, enabling you to approach complex ideas with confidence. This orientation is meant to give you that roadmap so that you know what lies ahead and why the early groundwork matters so much. The conclusion of this first episode is meant to consolidate your understanding of how to navigate the Prepcast as a whole. Think of the series as a long journey with many stages, each episode serving as a mile marker that brings you closer to a full picture of AI security. Along the way, you will hear recurring themes that tie together governance, balancing technical risks, lifecycle stages repeating in new forms, and attack patterns paired with defense strategies. These threads are not accidental but carefully woven to reinforce your learning. By recognizing them, you will avoid feeling lost in detail and instead see the larger shape forming. The goal is not to overwhelm but to build, one carefully structured layer at a time, until the picture becomes clear. Part of this orientation is also about motivation. The Prepcast is designed to support you through 50 episodes, each with a defined purpose and scope. That may feel like a long commitment, but remember, progress accumulates steadily. By listening consistently, you will gradually expand your capacity to handle more complex ideas. Exams may provide a near-term milestone, but beyond that lies a broader professional benefit. AI security is becoming a core expectation for those working in cybersecurity and governance. By investing the time now, you prepare yourself not only for test questions, but for real-world challenges that will define the next stage of your career. Your persistence here is an investment in long-term competence and confidence. The structure of the episodes has been crafted with flow in mind. Each episode moves from orientation into core content, and then closes with reflection. This rhythm ensures that no topic feels abrupt or disconnected. Instead, you are guided steadily, with careful pacing that mirrors the process of learning itself. You will notice that technical discussions are balanced with commentary, giving you both the raw concept and its significance. This structure helps you not just to recall information, but to understand why it matters, a crucial skill when applying knowledge in exam or workplace settings. Understanding context often proves just as valuable as memorizing details. As you think about the episodes ahead, keep in mind that this series is not only about passing exams. It is about gaining fluency in a new domain, one that is growing in importance and complexity every day. AI security is not simply a branch of cybersecurity. It is an expansion of it, one that brings new terms, new risks, and new opportunities for leadership. This Prepcast positions you to engage with that future. By the end of the series, you will be comfortable moving across layers, from data handling to governance discussions, confident in your ability to connect the dots. That confidence, more than memorized facts, is what employers, colleagues, and examiners alike will recognize. As you begin listening to subsequent episodes, remember that learning is cumulative. Do not worry if the early material feels slow or simple. It is laying the foundation for advanced concepts to come. Trust the layering process and resist the urge to skip ahead too quickly. Each piece matters, and each step strengthens your understanding. The early groundwork will give meaning to the complex scenarios that appear later. Think of it as constructing a building. Without a solid base, the higher levels cannot stand securely. The Prepcast follows this principle, starting with structure, then layering detail, and eventually broadening into advanced terrain. This orientation closes with a simple invitation: commit to the journey. Use the episodes consistently, reflect on them, and allow repetition to do its work. Whether your goal is exam success, career advancement, or professional fluency, this Prepcast can support it, but only if you engage with it as an ongoing process. 50 episodes may seem like a lot today, but over time, they will pass quickly, leaving you with a structured, well-grounded understanding of AI security. You are now ready to begin, with Episode 2 introducing you to the wider landscape of AI security and what makes it unique in the world of technology and governance. Thanks for tuning in to Bare Metal Cyber, your trusted source for cybersecurity educational materials, news, and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.